First day of Kavanaugh's confirmation hearing. We're joined by KTV political analyst Brian Sobel. And Brian, boy, plenty of fireworks today. What do you make of what we saw?
Well, it certainly started out in a very interesting fashion with many protesters trying to get their voices heard. And, of course, Democrats on the committee suggesting that they didn't have enough information to begin the questioning. At the end of the day, the hearing will go on and the questions will begin, and it should remain, I think, somewhat raucous, both from people who are attending and also Democrats really working hard to see if they can block this nominee.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about Democrats' requests. They want more time, they want more access to some of the documents from Kavanaugh's time during the George W. Bush administration. Do you think that they have a legitimate point? Is that a legitimate request?
Well, the question is, what is the content of those documents? There are 100,000 pages, give or take, according to the word we're getting out of Washington. Don't know how many of those pages actually contain things that are sensitive, but he was asked, Kavanaugh was asked many times to weigh in on very sensitive subjects within the White House, and with great candor. That would have been his job at that time, and about people. And so some of it may just be a situation where, setting aside the very important issues that he was probably asked to weigh in on, is some very sensitive material, and that's the argument. 100,000 seems like a lot of pages to me.
I think a lot of people are looking at this and saying, boy, what a mess this is. It's really a manifestation of the hyper-politicized environment that we're in. One senator, though, did put forth a rather compelling theory about why we're in this situation. I want you to take a look now, listen now to Nebraska Senator Ben Sasse.
And when we don't do a lot of big, actual political debating here, we transfer it to the Supreme Court. And that's why the Supreme Court is increasingly a substitute political battleground in America. It is not healthy, but it is what happens, and it's something that our founders wouldn't be able to make any sense of.
Okay, there is Senator Ben Sasse basically saying the problem is us, it's Congress.
Well, I think a lot of people would agree that Congress is not debating the questions of the day. The arguments that go on in Congress are both partisan in nature or punted away from decisions being made by people in Congress. And his assertion is that more and more we're asking the Supreme Court to become sort of a quasi-legislative body, which it's not designed to be. And I think that's at the core of it. If Congress would do its job and allow the judicial branch to decide on constitutional issues and other things, we would probably all be in a little better place.
Brian, before I let you go, what did you think of Kavanaugh's overall demeanor? He did just really have to kind of sit there as these legislators sort of let him have it, if you will. And then he gave that opening statement, his remarks. What did you think about what he said?
Well, Heather, it had to be a long day for Brett Kavanaugh. First of all, you sit through all these opening statements by senators on both sides of the aisle, and then you finally, towards the end of the day, get a chance to make your opening statement. And it's a long, tough slog. And by the way, this is day one of several.
Yeah. He spent a lot of time talking about his family, his children, his mom. Interesting to see what happens come day two tomorrow. Brian,
yes, indeed.
Thank you so much.
You're
Appreciate
very
it.
welcome.